Let's bring in Dr. Wallace Ford. He's a public administration professor at Medgar Evers College. Also, Kenneth Vecchio is here. He's a Republican strategist and attorney. Welcome to you both.
Good evening.
Wallace, I'm going to start with you. President Trump says it's ridiculous not to have a citizenship question on a census questionnaire. Is that just his way of trying to exclude illegal immigrants again, or is he right?
Well, no, of course he's not right. And of course, and I say of course because typically he's just wrong, or he's just not telling the truth. For almost 70 years, we have not had a citizenship question on the census. And what we know, and I'll put out a name, and I'm sure my colleague is familiar with the name Frank Hofeller, who in 2015 was a Republican strategist who came up with this idea of adding the citizenship question so as to depress the representation of non-white Latinos. It's clear as day and written in black and white, this particular memorandum. That's part of the materials I would surmise that Donald Trump and the Trump administration don't want to have revealed. It is estimated that if that citizenship question is in place, we're looking at a depression of the overall count of about 5.6%, affecting, according to Mr. Hofeller's strategy, who again is a major strategist with respect to gerrymandering in favor of Republicans around the country, that you'll see less money going to Democratic-controlled.
But shouldn't we know who is filling out these questionnaires?
No. What you need to know is the census is about counting the number of people, okay, who are in this country, so that you know how services should be allocated.
Wrong. Don't you want to know how many citizens are in this country? Is it legit to ask about race and not legit to ask about citizenship?
Well, enough. America is so tired of using race and ethnicity as a basis for an argument,
that's the history of the United States, okay?
As a basis for an argument about matters that are not related to race and ethnicity. Also, Americans have completely had it with politics being interjected into criminal law and trying to hold people in contempt for things that are civil matters and not criminal matters. I mean, this is going completely crazy. Wallace, it's completely rational, logical, and makes sense in every angle to ask a basic question if you're a U.S. citizen on a census. And by the way, I don't want non-U.S. citizens voting, so I'd like to know who's not a U.S. citizen.
But it's not about voting, as you well know.
Why not? Why not? If you care about democracy and accuracy, don't you want to prevent voter fraud?
Voter fraud is a myth, okay, in this country. We don't have voter fraud of any significance. It's been proven by multiple nonpartisan studies over the years.
Okay. Wallace, come on.
Okay, well, you can raise your voice all you can raise your voice all you want. You can raise your voice all you want, but that doesn't make it true.
You have a nice, well-articulated argument, and my voice raising isn't what's making it true. What's making it true is facts.
But that's not the voter fraud. 7 decades, there's not lots of voter fraud, and you know this. Are you saying this because you don't know, or are you saying it because you know it and you want to mislead? Which is it? Because it's not true.
Because I've done personal research on it.
You've done personal research across all 50 states, right?
You know that I'm the author of the best-selling criminal law books in the country.
Gentlemen, we have to go back to the topic at hand. The topic at hand is the citizenship question, not voter fraud. And to Wallace's point, you know, knowing who is on the citizenship questionnaire, who is actually filling this out, and it's not about who's on it, but how many people are filling it out and how many people are in this country. And so don't we need those numbers to accurately reflect?
We need the numbers, okay? The notion of who's a citizen or who is not a factor with respect to the census' main purpose, which has to do with the allocation of federal resources throughout the country. Now, what we've seen since 2013, and my fellow lawyer and legal scholar will, I hope, agree with this, with the Supreme Court decision, which gutted the Voting Rights Act. We've seen the Republican-controlled legislatures around the country look to suppress the voting of who? Of minorities and of people who typically would be voting in the Democratic category. This is just one more step in that direction by the Trump administration, and I will bet, I will bet anything. I've got $1 right here. I've got $1 right. I will bet you that if one day the documents that Trump is trying to hide come out with respect to the census, you're going to see the Frank Hofeller report.
Why exerting this privileged power?
Look, the president has great rationale for wanting to have a question on the census about whether or not people are U.S. citizens. And how about this? Maybe it would help immigrants who are coming into the United States if we learn how many people here are illegally and how many people are not here legally. And if we learn how many people who are not citizens, so we can determine how many more people we could allow in legally.
That's not the census question. And here's the $1. Okay, well, let's see what happens when that report comes through.
And we have time to discuss it again because we have time until the Supreme Court takes on this.
Yes,
All right?
Yes,
Dr. Wallace Ford. Ford and Kenneth Del Vecchio. Thank you for this heated debate coming up here on Crossroads. A day